Good morning, everyone. This is the Plant Father with Based Mafia, and I'm going to run you through my daily food prep routine, which is so important to my personal success with going vegan and losing weight and just getting to the optimal health that I need to get to, reversing cardiovascular disease. It takes work. I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't, but if you're not willing to put in the time, if you're not willing to put in the work, then how can you expect any miracles? Don't expect it. Don't expect success in anything that you do in life, whether it's, relationships, starting a business, and health. So every day I get up and I have a very specific routine. Big part of my routine, waking up in the morning and I meditate and pray. Some people don't want to do that. Some people don't believe in prayer. That's just for me. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm not telling you what you need to do, but it actually helps. Every morning I wake up and, I say affirmations, I pray, and I affirm to myself what my goals for each and every day is, and I make sure that I execute them. And like many of you've seen, I wake up to a big whiteboard that's right next to my bed, and I know that those are the things that I have to do for the day. And first thing I do is meditate and pray. Second thing I go and do is exercise. Third thing that I go and do is food prep. Those are the way that I start my morning every single day. So I'm gonna run you through a little bit of my food prep to kind of show you what I got going on. So here we go. So today I'm gonna be making vegetables. We have some zucchini here, yellow and green zucchini. I'm gonna bake 2 potatoes, one for today, one for tomorrow. I have rice, organic brown rice going here. Let's mix that up a little bit. I'm gonna lower the heat. Oh, the oven just went off. Time to kick in our potatoes. So I'm gonna roast these potatoes for about 50 minutes. It's just thrown right up in there. So food prep for me is super, super important. And so today's meals are gonna be pretty simple. I'm gonna have, I have these delicious Ezekiel Wraps. So for one of my meals, I will have the Ezekiel Wrap. What's almost like making a little bit of a burrito with all the vegetables and the brown rice. I will have a nice big salad, which is going to be delicious. And I'm going to start making my smoothie. I'm going to start prepping my smoothie right now, so I'll show you exactly all the ingredients that I put in to that. So my meals are pretty simple. I'm also going to make myself some delicious oatmeal, and we'll get into that in about a second, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. So I wake up in the morning, I'm going to have a nice big bowl of oatmeal. Let's show you the oatmeal that we use. Old-fashioned rolled oats, gluten-free, organic, and this is what you want to see in your ingredients. Organic whole grain oats. That's really important. If you're having oatmeal, you want to make sure it's slow cooked oat. And I'll go through the ingredients. I'll show you everything I'm doing with that. And just it's not that hard if you get into a routine. It really isn't. The routine is actually quite easy. Once you get into it, after you get like 2 or 3 weeks into it, you just start getting into a great routine. The hardest thing is when I travel. If I'm traveling, so I'm going to New York in 2 weeks to prep for a new film, and that's where it becomes a little problematic, but you have to overcome and you have to use your brain. So if I go out to eat, I'm going out to socialize, I'm not, I've kind of changed the way that I think, and I'll make sure that I find things on the menu that is suitable for what I want. Typically, when I go to New York, I'll stay at my parents' house. So the first thing I do when I get into town is I pack the fridge for all the things that I want to eat. So everything that I have here, I'll have there. So it's not that hard. You just have to adjust, and it takes, it doesn't take a day to adjust. So you just have to be sure, especially those who are suffering with cardiovascular disease. And if you're following Dr. Esselstyn's formula and his plan, you have to be very, very strict, because that is why it works. Being strict And like he says in that one chapter, moderation kills. So every day you can't have a slice of pizza and a little of this and a little of that and also eat healthy. It doesn't work that way. So you have to follow the program exactly if you want it to work for you. So all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into our smoothie right now, and I'll show you exactly what I put into that. Hey guys, before I jump into the smoothie, I just wanted to really quickly show you how we're gonna prep this. So I got my zucchini, broccoli, some peas and carrots, and some black-eyed peas. So I don't use oil at all. So what I did is I put a little hot water in here, just a little bit. The reason I did that is because we're gonna put some spices. So here are the spices that I'm gonna be using. Little Himalayan sea salt, onion powder, garlic powder, turmeric, and cayenne. A little bit of water helps the spices kind of stick and get in there nice. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to put this in the oven for a little bit on some parchment paper on a baking sheet. And then I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put it back into this bowl with some rice. And I'm going to have this for at least 2 days so I can make my nice wraps. And what I'll also add to that, which will make it really delicious, is I have some really delicious salsa, which is great. And I have this hummus. So if you're following the Dr. Esselstyn Heart Reversal plant-based diet, it's very important that you have foods that are very low in fat and no added oils. And this is one of the very few hummuses that are very, very low in fat. You're talking 1 gram of fat per serving. This is actually made by Dr. Esselstyn's son. He started the Engine 2 Plant Strong brand. It's really... So when you're eating things like hummus, you have to be really, really careful that you're getting the low-fat hummus, natural low-fat. And it's like the Engine 2 hummus is really great, and you should definitely consider that. So I'll show you what it looks like going onto the baking sheet and then coming off as well. So here's what the vegetables look like, all spread out on the baking sheet. Make sure you use parchment paper. Do not use olive oil. Do not use any oils of any kind if you are following the Dr. Esselstyn Heart Reversal plan. Do not do it. Heart disease reversal diet. Don't even use the spray, because there's some trickery that goes on, especially with how they say no fat, no calories, because it actually means if it's 0.5% per serving, they could actually label it as no fat. But let me tell you, that starts to add up because no one uses just one quick little spray of that. So you just want to stay away from it. The parchment paper is awesome. I'll put this in the oven, 425, for 20 to 30 minutes. I'll flip once or maybe twice. And then once my rice is done, I'll just add it together and have a nice big bowl. And my prepping for these foods, maybe it takes me an hour in the morning, but what happens is I have 2 days of food prepped. So, you know, my day is kicking, but by the time I get done with everything, I'm off to the races by 10:30, and I have a full day to just focus on my company and focus on all of the things that I want to do as far as what my company goes and my developing of films. I have an app that I'm doing, all of these things, and you know, I've got everything in. So kind of prepping and treating your life almost like it's a business. So if you could treat your life like it's a business, you'll see some tremendous results. I'll show you these vegetables once they get out of the oven, and we're gonna jump into how I make my oatmeal. It's not brain surgery, and how I make my smoothie. So I just want to show you that I like to use almond milk in my oatmeal, and this is what I have every morning for breakfast. So a lot of people use water, but I use my almond milk. It's like I do a little over a cup of the unsweetened, no flavored almond milk, and then, you know, pretty standard, half a cup of oatmeal. And then I'll add some minor ingredients. So I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth, and I use the sugar in the raw. This is really, really good. And look at the calories for just 1 teaspoon. I'll use 2 teaspoons in my oatmeal. So it's 30 calories, no fat at all, no sodium, 8 grams of carbs and 8 grams of sugar. And that's ultimately the highest amount of sugar that I'll have for the day. And I have it early in the day, gives me a little boost. So I don't mind doing it. Other people might not, especially if they're looking to lose weight, but that little amount of sugar is not going to hurt anybody, especially if you're as active as I am. So we'll get back to that. I'll show you kind of the final product on that. We're just going to let it simmer for its 15 minutes. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I make my smoothie. But I just want to show you something too. I keep a nice little bowl of popcorn laying around. I love to eat, but eating almost cost me my life. And grazing on a little bit of popcorn every day helps me stay away, helps me stay vegan, helps me stay away from the crap. I don't pop it with any oil or anything like this. It's all organic. It's really healthy. It's this is a great brand. You should check it out. You get it at Whole Foods. And you know, through the day, I'll have a little handful here and there, and it keeps me going, so it's cool. So let me show you the smoothie ingredients. Then I'm gonna make the smoothie and kind of show you the end result. And I love this stuff. Every day I have a little bit of a smoothie, and what I make will last for 2 days. So here are the ingredients. I use 2 different types of salad, so I will stuff the hell out of this thing, like up to here with salad. I use baby spring mix that has a bunch of different lettuces in there. Let's take a quick peek of the ingredients. Romaine, tango, spinach, oak leaf lettuce, chard, arugula, red leaf lettuce, a bunch of good stuff. I'll also use the kale salad, and I'll stuff the hell out of that. I'll use 2 bananas. I use 3 servings of the raw organic meal replacement. It's really, really good stuff. Gluten-free, dairy-free, 100% vegan. I'll use a mix of the almond milk, Almond Breeze, unsweetened. I'll use this and water. I do a tablespoon of the cacao, tablespoon of chia seed. I do a tablespoon of the ground flax. I'll do 2 tablespoons or 2 servings of this fiber. And then I put blueberries and whole strawberries. It's delicious. I'll also put some cinnamon in there, and I might put a little vanilla in there if I have it. Really important too, this is great, I also put the ground cloves. The cloves are fantastic, and they help actually with dissolving plaque in the arteries. It's something that's really good because it's a polyphenol. So that's something that's important. So I'm gonna get into this, and this will actually last me for 2 days. And I use these mason jars. I'm using this one to hold pens right now, but I use these mason jars. I'll fill 2 of these. So what I'll do is this 1 mason jar will last me, will basically be 1 day of serving. So I'll drink like half at one point of the day and half at the other, and then this will last me for 2 days. So I'm gonna jump into this, and I'll show you the end result. So I just wanna show you guys the end result for the oatmeal. I have this every morning, about a half an hour, 45 minutes after I work out. Delicious oatmeal, cinnamon, blueberries, bananas, a little bit of the sugar. You don't have to use the sugar. You could sweeten it however you want. And a little bit of vanilla. And this is a extremely delicious, very low fat, plant-based meal. It really fills you up. It provides you with a ton of nutrients. And it's just a powerhouse of nutrients and energy for the day. And I'll eat this and I won't eat again probably for another 3 hours, and that's when I'll tap into like my smoothie, and I'll have a salad after. And then later tonight I'll have my final meal. I will have, and I might even have, I'll probably have the baked potato. So I'll have a big salad for lunch, I'll have a baked potato, and I'll have that like 6 ounces of smoothie. And then for dinner I'll have another big salad. And I typically put a little bit of apple and blueberries into that salad. And then I'll also have that mixed rice with the vegetables. And if I want to turn it into a wrap, I might. I have that option. If not, it's delicious as it is. So I'm gonna get into the smoothie making right now, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so here are my smoothies. They might not look appetizing, but they're actually pretty delicious. And anytime I have someone try them, they're like, ah, no way. And then they try it, they're like, wow. So again, I'll drink this one today, half and half, and that one tomorrow. Very, very healthy. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you the end result. So this is essentially what I eat every single day. Takes me roughly an hour to prep for like 2 days, and for 2 days worth of food, although I do still have to make my oatmeal every single morning. That takes 10 minutes. So here it is, delicious brown rice with zucchini, peas, carrots, beans, black-eyed peas actually, and broccoli, delicious potatoes. I got my smoothies, my delicious oatmeal, my 2 big salads that I'll have every day, and my choice if I want to have a nice little wrap, and I'll use the hummus, and I will use the delicious salsa here, and I'll have an apple every single day. And really important, every day I have close to a gallon of lemon water with turmeric. Let me explain. Obviously, everyone knows water is important, but one of the keys to the Dr. Esselstyn plan is reducing your cholesterol below 150, but as important, it's bringing your inflammation levels down, because there have been tremendous studies now proving that inflammation is one of the key factors to disease. So think about what inflammation is, and think about your arteries being inflamed. That is a part of the disease, and it's very important to get that under control. And lemon and turmeric water will do wonders in reducing inflammation, and so will all this food that I'm eating. This food right here will literally arrest and reverse your heart disease. There's 25 years of proven studies, clinical studies, and now a multitude of doctors from all over the world are saying the same thing, a multitude of cardiologists. But this lifestyle, this plant-based lifestyle, does wonders on all sorts of diseases, whether it be diabetes, whether it be cancer, you name it, high cholesterol. If you have high cholesterol, drops your cholesterol in 2 to 3 weeks pretty rapidly. The weight loss on here is tremendous. Just so many positive things start to happen for not only your physical health, but your mental health. So again, that's the food that I eat every day. It's not that hard, guys, and the food is actually delicious, and you could have some fun with it as well. So thank you for tuning in. Check out my website at plantbasedmafia.com. You could also find me on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and if you like my videos and you want to take this journey with me, like my page, follow me, and let's get healthy together. And one more thing, I'm also looking for content contributors. So if you're not someone that wants to post a ton of stuff on social media, but every once in a while you want to do a video, or you want to write a blog or an article, and you want to connect with people, I'm looking for people that would love to provide content also and tell their story, and I want to host them on my website. Just, we could do this together. That's the big thing here, right? If we come together as a unified group and we start showing other people that are just like me, grew up Italian, grew up around tons of food, I'm a bit of a street guy, I'm not your typical vegan, I'm not what the typical vegan might or yoga guy might look like, what the stereotype is. And I want to actually break down those stereotypes. And I want to show that, being plant-based and being vegan, it's actually macho. It's the most masculine thing that you could actually do, especially if you're a father and you have a wife and children. This is the best way that you could protect them, because they need you to be healthy, they need you to be alive, and they need you to live for a long time. And this plant-based lifestyle is going to make you the strongest you've ever been, the most virile you've ever been. Your mind is going to be working clear and fluid, and you are going to live a very long and healthy life. So give it a shot. I hope you hop on the boat here and you really give being a plant-based vegan a shot and just see the things that will do for your life. Again, thank you for tuning in. Let's get healthy together.